The maid was tied to the bed. Someone kept pouring water into her mouth until she started vomiting. But this wasn't some cruel act, it was part of her treatment. The young woman was suffering from coal ash disease, and inducing vomiting was the only way to save her. Every 3 minutes, the process would be repeated, otherwise, her body would start deteriorating. As servants in the Shadow Manor, many people died each year from coal ash disease. This pair of twin maids, after making a mistake, was sent to the coal furnace for cleaning. But within just 10 minutes, they too were infected with coal ash disease. They were immediately carried out for emergency treatment. They drank water and vomited continuously, and once recovered, they were sent back to work in the coal furnace. If this cycle continued, they would soon die. But all of this happened because they had made a mistake in the Shadow Manor. Their master, if the living dolls were destroyed, would lose the right to live in the manor. To find out who was causing chaos in the manor, the Daishing group went into the coal ash pipelines. What they discovered was shocking. The culprit had intentionally chosen the moment when the most adhesive material was present to create the disturbance. Their goal was clear, to remove the Daishing members. Without their status, they would become like the other people in the manor, constantly at risk of losing their lives. Most importantly, they had betrayed the trust of the great-grandfather in the manor. Balala decided to find a solution before the adults discovered what happened. Since they couldn't find the culprit, the twins, who had ruined the brainwashing coffee, and Rosemary, who had brought the spirits, were made scapegoats and punished by being sent to the coal furnace. Balala urgently summoned Kate. She had always been a suspect in the Daishing group. To prove her innocence, Kate decided to find out who was really behind it. Balala promised that if she found the real culprit, she would recommend Kate to become a Daishing member. When Kate returned to her room, her hands were still trembling with fear. Emily Coco decided to give her some private space. Once Emily Coco left, Kate was able to relax. She lay on her bed, taking deep breaths, thinking seriously about the events involving the spirits. The mastermind didn't break the coffee just to get back at the twins or the Daishing members. It was a rebellion against the brainwashing system in the manor. And the fact that the culprit could control the spirits meant they were incredibly skilled with coal ash powers. Kate remembered Barbara and John, who produced large amounts of coal ash, and Lewis, who used coal ash for mind control. However, the information she had gathered was too little to pinpoint the suspects. So, she decided to go out and investigate further. From Emily Coco's notes, Kate found a map of the manor drawn by her friend Mia. Kate took Emily Coco with her to the medical room to visit Mia, who was suffering from coal ash disease. The twins were also in the medical room. They had the disease but still had to return to work in the furnace. Mia was nearly cured, but Rosemary was still critically ill. Emily Coco was very worried about her. Kate reassured Emily Coco that she would find the culprit as soon as possible and clear Rosemary's name. They immediately set off to investigate the next location. On the way, they encountered John. John, trying to keep his actions secret, had climbed the high wall of the manor, but this only drew more attention. He decided to help Kate uncover the truth. To keep their plans secret, Emily Coco even mastered ventriloquism. As they walked, they exchanged information, following the map to explore every location. Finally, they stopped to rest, and Emily Coco noticed a wooden cabin that wasn't on the map. John wanted to use it as a secret base, but the door was rusted and wouldn't open. In frustration, John used force to break the door, only to collapse the entire door panel.
Being lined up at the window frame saved our lives. John, you are positively dreadful!
He was the only one to suffer from this. Please accept his pain as penance.
It turned out this cabin was the Daishing group's secret lab.